Hey there guys, figured I'd try something new today. I'm just using my webcam that I'd use for streaming, and I had my mic set up, so I was like, hey, PlayStation show's coming up later today. Why don't I just take a moment to discuss some of my predictions and stuff like that? So here we go. Let me know if you guys end up enjoying this video, because if so, maybe I'll do more discussion videos like this. I can tell you, it takes a lot less time to set up and do than it does to do a normal video, because when I sit down to do a normal video, it takes all day. But anyway, Sony's show is tonight at 5 o'clock, I think, my time. So it's 1 o'clock Eastern or something like that. Anyways, doesn't matter. 5 o'clock my time. So I'm planning on sitting down, filming myself any notable reactions as to what's going on. What do I expect from the show, though? So first off, I expect Sony to announce their price and their release date, of course. Now, I think that they will definitely try to directly compete with Microsoft, so they will try to have something in the same ballpark for both price and release date. My hope is that the price is relatively the same as the Xbox Series X, and that the release date is almost around the same time. A big thing for me is that I think it's a week or so after Xbox's initial launch, we got Cyberpunk coming. And myself, I plan on getting it for the PS4. My PC is probably strong enough to run it, but I just enjoy playing games more on console in my own personal preference. So it'd be really nice to have a high-end PS5 to be able to play Cyberpunk on, and it would really suck to have to buy the game, play it on the old standard first-gen PS4, and then wait a couple weeks for the PS5 to come out. That would really suck. So I'm hoping that it's somewhere really early in November, maybe November 10th, November 11th, sometime around that. A price point, as I said, it's probably going to be roughly about the same as Xbox Series X. I'm thinking probably $4.99 American. Something like that sounds reasonable. I know that Sony kind of values its brand quite a bit, but they've also been known to sell their consoles at a loss previously, even though for the consumer it did seem like a very expensive price tag. Oftentimes when Sony was selling a console, they were selling it at less than what they actually put into the machine. I remember when the PS3 came out, we were paying quite a bit for it, but everything I had heard from insider reports suggested that the PS3's development cost and the distribution and all that stuff was actually more expensive than what we were getting at retail. Now I don't know how much of that is true, but I mean, hopefully they take something like that to heart. We don't want the same kind of thing as when the PS3 first came out, us paying these ridiculous prices. And yeah, I don't think we'll see that again. I think Sony will be smart about it and hopefully release it for roughly about $4.99 American. And it would actually blow my mind if they did it any cheaper. But yeah, now as for what else Sony's going to show, originally I thought this was going to be just a prices game. Essentially they're just going to be hey, here's the PS5, here's the release date, and here's how much, because that's essentially all Microsoft did, even though theirs was attributed to leaks and stuff like that. So I'm assuming that that's all Sony was going to do too. But a lot of people are suggesting that there's going to be more reveal trailers. They're going to show the launch lineup. They're going to show all these things. So with this, if they decide to release on the same day as the Xbox, which might be a bit of a risky move, but somebody had said that Cyberpunk actually... there was something about Cyberpunk being a launch game for the Xbox One X, or the Xbox Series X. Sorry, these names are getting so complicated for friggin' Microsoft. Anyway, I guess Cyberpunk was going to be one of the first few games on that console at launch, from what I had heard. And if Sony decides to do the same kind of release date, then we might actually see a push forward on Cyberpunk, which would be crazy. Getting it on November 11th or 10th or whatever the Series X is. I don't have the information in front of me. But that'd be crazy. Beyond that, any other launch titles I think we're going to see? Maybe launch window titles. Ratchet and Clank's a good possibility. Miles Morales, we haven't seen a whole lot. I'll be honest, a lot of these first games that are coming out don't do much to impress me. Spider-Man was a great game, don't get me wrong, but it's one of those games that I'm just not excited about until I play it, and I'm normally really enjoying it when I am, but I don't get hyped for it, nothing like Cyberpunk or Final Fantasy VII or any of the Fallouts or anything like that. Like, I get super pumped for those games, and yeah, I don't know. So I'm thinking that maybe something to do with those. It'd be really cool to hear Cyberpunk as a release game. Beyond that, I had heard big rumors about Final Fantasy 16. Fingers crossed. And if not Final Fantasy 16, maybe Final Fantasy 7's second part of the remake, to see a small trailer or a clip of that would be really cool. Another thing somebody had mentioned, which I don't know if we'll see it, but it would be really nice to actually get a glimpse of it, is somebody had mentioned those new Silent Hill projects that Konami's supposedly working on. To see anything for Silent Hill would be mind-blowing. I think, like, if I was Sony, my strategy would be to take this opportunity that Microsoft had to push back Halo. And they were like, that was our big game for launch. Everybody was excited for that. And if they're going to push back Halo, Sony needs to come out now and be like, here's our pretty decent launch lineup, because we got to temper our expectations for that. But in the future, we're going to have Final Fantasy 16, Silent Hill, all these big ones, and they're just going to hit us hard with that. And I think like that could be something that might actually tip the console war kind of coming out like in the very beginning. And it's kind of a shame that we still even have a console war. But I think that personally that would be a smart move, a smart business move, to be like, here's all those things you love. They're going to be on PlayStation 5. They're going to be high quality. Here you go. And that would probably be really smart for them. But what do I actually expect for the show? Price reveal, release date, launch lineup, and if we get really, really lucky, Final Fantasy 16 trailer. I would say those are my pretty solid predictions. Now, I'm going to try to do a reaction video to anything just to see like if I'm right. Yeah, it'd be really cool. So I'm only going to upload it if it's actually noteworthy, but I guess we'll see, right? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. What are your predictions for this little Sony show? It's up in a couple hours, so yeah, I'd love to see what you guys think, So anyways, I'll talk to you guys sometime real soon. Maybe we'll do this again about some other stuff. I tend to just rant when I get into a situation like this, but if you guys enjoy it, great. We can do this some more, maybe some story time stuff. So anyways, see you guys all in the next video.